Hello and welcome to my video, lesson 8.1, Understanding Angles. So, first of all, just thinking about units in general, if we're talking about length, then we can talk about meters, we can talk about feet, we can talk about miles, we can talk about kilometers, we can talk about all sorts of things. If we talk about area, well, we just have to square those things for length, right? We can also talk about temperature, and that has a bunch of different units, like Kelvin, Celsius, degrees Celsius, and Fahrenheit. Okay, so every single measurement that we do has actually a bunch of different types of measurement, a bunch of different systems to measure the same thing. And with angles, it's no different. So you've probably heard before of, whoopsies, I just deleted way more than I wanted. You've probably heard before of degrees, but perhaps, so like maybe 360 degrees, but perhaps you have not heard of the other type of measurement. The other type of measurement, and you might know this or have heard this before because of your calculator. Calculators can be in two different modes. They can be in degree mode, which is normal, right? Or normal so far. And they can also be in radian mode. So radian is another type of measurement specifically designed to measure angles and to do it easily so that we can do it without a calculator. So that we can work with angles without a calculator. So radians are a beautiful and wonderful thing for us mathematicians. So what is a radian? Well, a radian is, so if we think about 360, if we convert that to radians, it's 2 pi, and we don't normally write the anything for like a symbol for it. Like in degrees, we have this little degree symbol up here. For radians, we don't normally write anything, but if we do, we'd write rad for radians because it's so rad. So, looking at our unit circle, which hopefully you remember doing at some point, if we start at this spot, we call this 0 degrees. Okay, and you can kind of imagine, I'm going to do degrees first, going from the center to the top. This is a 90 degree angle, right, from here to here. That's a 90 degree angle. You can also imagine if you went to here, that would be a 180 degree angle. You could also imagine that if you went to here, that would be a 270 degree angle. And then finally, if you go back to the beginning, that would be a 360 degree angle. All right, well, I said that 360 equals 2 pi radians. So 260 is like saying 2 pi. Okay, and our beginning position is also 0 radians. So with that knowledge, we can actually break up our unit circle into sections or fractions of pi that give us the radian measurement. So 360, if we cut that in half, goes to 180. So 2 pi, if we cut that in half, it goes to pi. Okay, and if you cut 180 in half, you get to 90. So if we cut pi in half, we can write pi over 2, or pi to the 1/2, or what, pi 1/2, or half pi. There you go. Said that kind of weird at first. And we could also continue to go from there. If we cut 90 in half, right, normally we'd have 45 degrees, but if we're talking about radians, we have to cut the pi half, or half pi. We have to cut that in half, and we get pi over 4. Okay, and there's two other useful measurements that kind of come up somewhat regularly, and I'm going to do those in maybe a different color. Let's do it green. No, that Yeah, it's probably close enough. Somewhere around there. It's not going to be perfect, but... Okay, so there's two other measurements, and they cut 90 into thirds. So what is a third of 90? Well, it would be 30 degrees, and if we took 2/3 of 90, it'd be 60 degrees. Okay, using the same logic, getting 1/3 times pi over 2, 1/3 of that would give us pi over 6. So 30 degrees is pi over 6. Okay, looking back at 60, well, it's 2/3. So we're going to do this same sort of thing here. 2/3. And so we're going to be able to get pi over 3 as our answer. All right, so now we have a lot of the basic ideas here. We can continue to break up our circle, and I will just finish it off for you guys. If you could pause the video and finish the unit circle at this point, filling in all the blanks with both degrees and with radians, that would be a really good start into understanding angles a little bit better. Not the greatest drawings here, but I think you'll get the idea. Okay, pause the video at this point, try it out, and then see if you get the same answer I do. All right, I'm going to get started. So 90 plus 30 would give us 120 degrees. Plus another 30 gives us 150 degrees. Plus another 30 gives us 180. Plus another 30 gives us 210. Plus another 30 gives us 240 degrees. Plus another 30 gives us 270. Plus another 30 gives us 300. Plus another 30 gives us 330 degrees. Okay, we can also add 45 going all the way around, and we can do the same thing with pi radians. Okay, so 90 plus 45 would give us 135 degrees. Plus 45 gives us 180. Plus 45 again, so that's 225 degrees. And then plus 45 again gives us 270. Plus 45 again, and we get 315 degrees. So a bunch of different options, and so now we can continue our method here, but using our fractions for our radians. So pi over 4 is 45, so pi over 4 plus pi over 4 is pi half. And then add another quarter, so 3 pi over 4. Add another quarter, we get to pi. Add another quarter, and we get to 5 pi over 4. Add another quarter, and we get to 6 pi over 4, or we could say 3 pi over 2. Add another quarter, we get to 7 pi over 4. Do the same thing for sixths, and we can go to, we can kind of go through the process here and add another 6, which would be 5 pi over 6. And then over here would be, this would be 5 pi over 6. This would be 2/3 pi. Continuing on, we'd have 7 pi over 6. We'd have 4 pi over 3. Then we'd have sorry, that would be, yeah, 1/3, 2/3, yep. And then over here we'd have 5 pi over 3, and then last we'd have 11 pi over 6. All right, so you don't have to have all of this memorized, but I would say that you should kind of be able to work your way towards this, because you should be aware of this relationship. Pi is 180, and you should be aware of 90 being half of that, so pi half, and you should be aware of this. And so you can just think about it as fractions of pi. Okay, so you don't have to have this memorized, but it is helpful to understand what the unit circle is and how to use it. Hopefully this helps you understand angles better, and especially radians. Good luck!